Hi there. So this is the first video of what I hope to be many, demonstrating some of the various tools that MagicSchool AI has available to you. And the place that I thought I would start is a pretty straightforward and simple one called the YouTube Video Questions tool. And you can see I've favorited a few of these by clicking the little star, but you can find, if you go to all tools and you sort by alphabetical, you're going to get a full listing of everything and scroll down to the bottom. And obviously YouTube is going to be one of the very last ones. So there's actually two things about YouTube. There's the YouTube video questions and there's YouTube video summarizer. The summarizer does exactly that. It will basically give you a condensed summary of what the whole video is about. The YouTube video questions will actually allow you to generate questions based on the content in the video. I'm going to click on YouTube video questions to show you what the form looks like because we haven't done one of these yet. Now, the way that this is working is it's taking the transcript, which is YouTube automatically, if you don't upload captions, closed captioning files for your video, YouTube automatically does a captioning for you, and they call that the transcript. And the transcript is what this tool is using to figure out what content is in the video. If the transcript isn't very good, then the YouTube video questions may have issues. So you want to make sure that, again, you check these questions out completely before you assign them to students to make sure that they're accurate. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to use the same video, but I'm going to do it two different ways. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create for, let's say we have 11th grade students, I'm going to create 7 free response questions. And I'm going to paste the link to my video in here. Now the video we're talking about is this one. It's called Battle Road, the American Revolution in 360 VR. And it's a pretty cool video. It's about, as you can see, it's only about 5 minutes long, but it uses 360 VR. This is about, Lexington conquered the first day of the American Revolution, when the Redcoats were marching back to Boston and the colonists started attacking them from the woods. And what you see here is the actual road and one of the fields that the English soldiers were spreading out in and to use to organize their movements. And what's nice is that this is a 360 camera, so you can turn, you can look around wherever you would like to. And so you can see the road here going on with all of the soldiers walking. But if you turn around and you look back into the woods, you can see the colonists are up here getting ready to fire on the English soldiers. So this is nice that it puts you right in the middle of the action and you can kind of look wherever you would like. The downside to this is not all students are going to experience the same exact thing when they watch this video, depending on where they're looking. Okay. So it's a relatively short video, but the interactive features make it kind of interesting for kids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask this to generate 7 free response questions about this video to make sure my students are watching it. So if I click generate, it's going to take a minute, and then it's going to start spitting out some questions. And it's funny because these are a little bit different than the last time I ran this. So it will, if you run it 3 times with the same exact inputs, it will not give you the same output 3 times. It definitely, the artificial intelligence engine uses a certain amount of randomness to determine what it's actually going to be displaying ultimately. So what you can see here are 7 questions. And unfortunately, because they're open response, the answers that they give you, it just says, are going to kind of vary. But this is a quick way that if you have a video you want your students to watch and you want to make sure that there are engagement questions, things to check to make sure that they're understanding and that they're watching it, you can generate a series of questions really quickly and easily like this. Now, what's also cool is that if you look at the bottom here, there's some questions. How to assess student responses to these questions, or are there any strategies to encourage critical thinking in student responses? These are just 2 prompts that you can use to go back to the AI and ask it to do more or to give you additional information. So you can click either one of these, or you could type your own question in here if you wanted to. And right off the top of my head, I can't think of a question to ask related to this prompt, but I'll show you how this works in some of the other videos that I record. What I wanted to show in this one is if we scroll all the way to the top, in the edit, there's an edit prompt drop down, which gets me back to the original question of what I was, what I asked the AI engine to do. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to say, okay, suppose we had the same video, but we wanted to do it for 8th graders. And I want to do 10 multiple choice questions in this case. So now if I say generate again, now it will give me multiple choice questions. And then the answers to them. And what's really nice is not only does it tell you the answer, but it tells you roughly where in the video you can look to find those answers. And so the questions that we have here are, what was the date of the first day of the American Revolution mentioned in the video? April 19th is the correct answer. So you could take this then and you could drop it into a Google form to turn it into an online quiz, or you could just put it into Google Docs and print it out to make it into a quiz for the kids. And in fact, you can do things like, say, copy, or you can export to Google Docs directly or to Google Forms directly. So they have some of these tools ready for you to go, knowing that this is something you might want to do a lot. So one of the nice things also about this, by using the grade level, is that you can kind of differentiate. So if you have some students whose reading and comprehension levels are lower, you may drop it down a couple of grade levels to get some simpler sounding questions for those students. However, the content, the basic core essence of what it's asking about, is still really the same stuff. I mean, again, this is only a 5-minute video. There's only so many bits of trivia that we can try to pull out and ask the students about. So you'll get roughly the same questions, just scaled based on the grade level that you listed. So that's a pretty cool little tool that I thought I would start out sharing with you, because there's not a lot of options. There's not a lot of tweaking that you have to do. You just put in your basic information and out pops what you're looking for. So I hope that this first video is helpful for you and you decide you want to give this a try with some of your YouTube videos. And next up, I think, just to give you a sense of what I'm going to be looking at next, I'm going to do a video on project-based learning. I'm going to do a video on a rubric generator and creating choice boards for differentiating assignments for kids. So those are the next 3 videos that I'm going to have coming out for you all. Have a great rest of your day.